Smart Coding University, training humans to train themselves. This is the video before the flipbooks. Go through this first video. This sort of has some goal objectives and some logistics that we need to go through here first to get it all to work. So I want to go through those. First of all, the whole purpose of the flipbooks is not for speed. It will end up with speed, but it is focusing on a mental process, and not any mental process, a silent mental process. So the first objective is for you to be silent. That is to say, we talk to ourselves. What can I say? Okay, so just like we talk to humans, we talk to ourselves, and we even sometimes do it real quietly, and it's like, so realize you do it. If not, catch yourself and try to notice it. If you're seeing pictures and things working like that, you're silently thinking. If you're, so to speak, talking to yourself, you're probably being verbal. So again, our objective is to be silent, and we can do that. Okay, and you'll see how we go through it as well. Okay, now the next objective is to look at the code and go through the thinking process. In other words, we're going to be having directions for you to do different things. So you look at it, you think through the directions, and you come up with a result, an end. And at some points, we're going to start combining these. So you're going to have one to figure out, then another to figure out, then another to figure out. Then you have to put them all together, and then until you get them all put together, then you finally get to the end. Okay, so as we do this, okay, you're going to put it together, put it together, put it together, put it together. Our goal really is to get to the end. Now, that's our goal. Okay, so and when we get to the end, we're going to focus on the end. Now, the next one is, so our first objective was silent. Second objective is to go through the thinking process, the mental process, to get to an end. And the third one is to do it in such a way that your subconscious gets jealous. In other words, enjoy the steps, just like baking cookies. Oh, we're putting this in so this works, and so this works, etc., etc. So it's like, yes, this is going to be so great. So we get to the end, and we've enjoyed the process of getting there, so that the subconscious gets jealous and takes over the process. Okay, and of course the fourth one is to let the subconscious take over the process, and sort of out of the, sort of out of the, out of our peripheral vision, sort of keep an eye on it to make sure it does a good job. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So before we do that, we first got to do, now you know the objectives. So there's the objectives. Now let's a little bit talk about the logistics. Okay, the way the videos are put together is I give some directions, and then there's a 30-second practice, okay, that is going through at a very rapid pace. So and then there's there's 6 of them. Okay, so I give directions, 30-second drill. Directions, 30-second drill. So, and those are all, they go through pretty fast. So our objective is for you to, it's not for speed, remember, so we're going to use the settings key to adjust for speed. So the first time so got the idea. So the first part of it, the instructions with the quick practice, you're just going to sort of watch it and see how, just sort of observe. Okay, so directions, observe. Directions, through 6 of them. And at the very end is all 6 of those practices hooked together without me speaking at all. If you slow it down when I'm speaking, it all of a sudden sounds like I'm drunk or something. So it sounds really crazy. So get through the introduction and get the idea of what you're going to do. Then get to the end. There's little, in Google, YouTube, they allow you to do tabs. At the end it says straight practice. So get to straight practice and start it there, and there'll be a visual telling you what that section does, and you'll know exactly what to do. And you slow it down to 0.25, maybe. That's 4 times slower than our final goal, maybe 8 times slower. Okay, so you slow it down to that. Now you can go through it, and you can focus on the mental process. There's not for speed right now. We want to make sure we silently just go through. Okay, go from here to here to here and get to an end. Okay, that's our goal. Okay, so our goal is to get to the end silently. Okay, now we also want to do this in a way that makes our subconscious jealous. Now, I told you you're going to be going through these about these practices about 4 to 6 times, 2 to 3 times in the morning, and 2 to 3 times later in the day. So early and then later, 2 to 3 times. So 6 times total. And now some of you are going, oh, when you heard practice, you heard drill, you went, oh. So, that we won't want to get into. So what I want you to get this feeling of is, remember, we're also training at this time, okay? And it's like when if a guy's, got this hot date, he wants to really impress his girl and stuff like that. Oh, got these big muscles. I mean, he just drops down, gets his muscles pumped up, gets his hair, he does all this effort, does his hair comb down, does this, does that, and does all these things, and he's excited to do them. Okay, he's excited to do them, and it isn't like there's effort. It isn't like there's work. It's like, I get to do all this stuff. Okay, now that's what we want you to do with practice. So what we're going to be talking about in the next couple of videos too is to sort of get you a little more excited on, I mean, Vicoding, reading 2,000 words a minute, that's going to be pretty impressive. That's going to do something to your career, something to your life. Okay, so I want you to start getting excited about the drills that are going to get you there. So, and one of the biggest things about not only are we training Vicoding, but after Vicoding can be used to train you in almost anything. And wow, who knows? What if you could be great in a lot of things? You're one of those people who go, well, he's just good at everything. So now we start training you to train yourself quickly, because Vicoding is 2,000 words a minute as opposed to 150 to 200 words a minute. I mean, all right, you got the idea. 10 times faster. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. So we're trying to get, as we take on drills, you want to sort of take it on like, this is a girlfriend, or, if you get this result, it's that the car, that career that you're going to have that's going to attract the girlfriend. You're, I'm pumping up to do it. This is going to be great. So get excited about these silly, stupid, boring drills. Don't want to get them that. I don't want to, sorry, I didn't mean to say it. So just like moms, when they, bake cookies, wipe, clean diapers, or change that, they get put a little bit of something, their pride, their excitement, their joy, their just love, their feeling that something great's going to happen, here. Okay, so put that into. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that as well. So 4 to 6 times. Let me see here real quickly here. So again, the speeds, remember, on the settings are, you start out at normal speed, but you can go down to as slow as a quarter of that, which is 4 times slower, right? 0.5 is half as slow. 0.25 is 4 times slower. So you can get it real slow. And then we can also go to 2x, which is faster. So when you get to that straight through practice, you can adjust. So you might start out the first time at 0.25 just regularly, and then get the mental processes going. And then the next time in the morning, do it at 0.5, 0.75 or something like that. Then in the evening, start at 0.75 or 1, and maybe go up as far as 2. So those are the speeds, how fast you're going to do it. But again, the key is make sure you go through the process, make sure you add the good juice to it to make it like, oh, this is really, oh, look how I did it, click, that's great, okay? And you're going to go, feel pride, feel these kind of things. But again, silently, we're going to do everything silently. So let's, so the first objective is silent. Second objective is to go through the process, get to the end. The third one is to make the subconscious jealous, and the fourth objective was to sort of out of the side of your eyes, watch the subconscious do it by itself. Okay, just let it do it. Okay, so okay, I gotta look at my notes here real quick just to. Okay, so again, get the thinking. So you're thinking, notice you're doing it in pictures. Now, number 2 is we're getting to the end. So you're going to have directions on what to do with the code, where the end is. But set up the end ahead of time. And set it up so that it has connections, has meaning to you. Okay, so the first ones, for example, are you're going to have a number, and it's going to be a number either between 1 to 25, 25 to 75, or 75 to 100. Now, you want to think of it more yours. So if you think money, well, 1 to 25, I normally keep $100 in my wallet, but at that point, I better get to the bank, okay? 25 up to 75, you're going, I don't go to the bank. Yeah, but 100, you just filled up, sort of full tank. Okay, something like that. Or if you're thinking of a binomial distribution, 25% are at the low end, 25% are at the high end, 75 to 100, and then there's this big binomial curve in the middle where most of everybody else is. Okay, so that's a binomial distribution. Or you might think of age, right? 1 to 25 people are young, and after 25 they start to get old. Not all the way old yet. Okay, so at 25 they start to get old, and then by 75 they're old. So anything older than 75, now you're old. Okay, so you think of it, I don't know how you want it, but personalize it so that you have a sense of it. So when you look at the numbers, that as you say what group is about, you get more than just, oh, it's this group 1 to 25. See, 1 to 25 doesn't have any meaning, it doesn't have any sense, and you want to be thinking of it silently and have a sense about it. Okay, so set up the groups. When we're going to be going into finally doing a little bit of actually looking at code and bringing code, we use specifics, this and that. Well, this indicates something close to you, and that indicates something far away. So if we say this cat or that cat, we just want to look at the code and see a cat far away or see a cat close to us. Okay, that's the end. Okay, now verbally we try to, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but we look at it, we go, oh, this cat, and you see the this cat, the whole thing there. No, it's just a cat close to you. That's all it is. Cat close to you, a cat far away. That's all it is. Okay, you don't need to take out, because that other is trying to hold on to the code, which verbally is, that's a verbal remnants. Okay, we're just going to get there to get to the end. Okay, always getting to the end. Now this is the key. Where that's our next, is we got to make it jealous when the subconscious sees us when you do that and you get to the end and oh, yeah, and, oh, I can do that. So get your subconscious jealous, and again start using those techniques that mom uses. Pride, feeling of the future. The boyfriend, trying to impress his girl, you making, amazing, imagining your amazing career, and this is just one of the great, amazing steps to it. Okay, all right, they're exciting. It's like buckling the seatbelt, at the, the fair for the ride. Click, it's on. Okay, all right, just little things, but get it excited, and then when you do, finally, as you start these practices, you're gonna go through these practices little by little by little. I'm telling you a lot of stuff here, and I want to remind you, when I first learned to play tennis, they told me, "Oh, do this, and it was like, you can't do everything at once, and you can't. So don't try to do this all at once. So take on this, first do it silently, get that going. Then get to the end. When you start focusing on getting to the end, then start making the subconscious jealous. Then at the end, start letting it go and letting the subconscious take over. Okay, so when it actually happens, you're going to sort of be excited though when the subconscious does take over, because you're just going to look at it and you're going, there it is. I hardly even see the code. And I just, oh, it's in that group. Oh, it's in that group. Oh, in that group. And you don't even hardly even see the code anymore. You just know, group. And that's when you're going through it at 1 every quarter second. That's at 2x. Okay, so but you it'll just pop into your mind. Okay, you won't be any good. So anyway, remember the logistics of this is that the first segment is directions plus very fast practice. Directions, very fast practice, 6 of them. And at the very end, it's without those, me giving you the directions, just the straight practice. So that's that. You go through the first part to get to what to do, and I explain it to you. Then 4 to 6 times at the end, just go through first really slow, then a little faster, then a little faster, then a little faster, and each time trying to bring in some of those little things here that we're talking about, but always being excited about it. Remember that is like you got to make your subconscious knowledge jealous of what we're training, but the idea of just training itself, because we're training humans to train themselves, and once they do, man, there's just no limit, right? You want to, I want to do this. Okay, you can do this. Okay, but excuse me, but you've got to train your subconscious to get excited about training. Whereas if you train, you go, well, I'll finally get myself going here so I can train tomorrow. Then maybe the next. No, you want to be excited. You want to be so excited that you want to do it all the time. It's like, oh man, do I have to stop training? Do I, oh man, what about? I'd love to be able to do this and do this. It's like, it's so exciting. And training is so fun to see the steps and how you figure it out and telling you strategize. And so training yourself to train is part of this, and also training yourself to do this flip books is part of this. So Vibe Coding University, training humans to train themselves. All right, talk to you later.